Hey guys, what's going on? It's Steve Cronin. My walls are kind of bare. I feel like also my hair is a little burnt. It's funny, every time I start recording, I'm like start obsessing with my appearance because it's like I don't really have a mirror to look at myself before I like go do stuff for the day. So I'm like, I record videos. I'm like, oh, let me fix this up. Okay, so. This is crazy. This whole environment is crazy. So I haven't really taken the time to actually explain to you guys what's going on. I will briefly right now. This is my new apartment in Brooklyn. And my walls are bare because I haven't really, put stuff on my walls, I guess. Which eventually I'll get around to. Cool, guys. So I wanted to talk about lucid dreaming. I have no plans for this video, which is kind of cool, I think, because you'll get to see what I'm like when I'm kind of like talking with my friends or on the phone or interacting with people in a way that's not very scripted. Not to say that my videos are scripted, but I do spend a considerable amount of time thinking about videos before I make them. So there's that. Also, I'm in a really contemplative mood today. Really mellow. I've been in my head all day, so yeah, that's another reason why I want to make videos too, is because I feel like, let me turn this off here. I actually have my YouTube channel open on my computer. So another reason why I want to make videos is I'm actually distracted now because I feel like the quality of the video is worse. The less light I have. Let me see here. That pops up. I don't know. Well, if I turn on another light, someone told me that, let's go with this. I think this is fine. Someone told me like the brighter the lights, the more like fuzzy the picture is. I don't really know, guys. I record off my phone. I don't really have a camera, so. But yeah, so I didn't really pre-plan this, and I'm feeling really mellow today, and this is pretty good. Like, you guys will get to see a different side of me, I feel like. Not this, like, very calculated side. So, I've got my watermelon water, and I've got something to talk about, which is lucid dreaming. So, let's do it. This came about, I was doing a live Q&A recently, the last one I did, number 3. And there was a lot of questions about lucid dreaming in the realm of biohacking, and I want to talk about it. I have a lot of experience with lucid dreaming, and some of you guys requested a video. I don't remember who. There's this guy, like, I don't remember his full name, but his shortened name was 44s. That's kind of like the short name I gave to him. I think he requested it, or she. I'm not really sure. Lucid dreaming. Okay. What is lucid dreaming? Let's start there and see this there's no pre-planned stuff. I hope you guys don't mind the sense of genuineness that I'm relaying to you guys. Lucid dreaming is simply defined as when you are aware that you are dreaming. That's it. You can get into the technical aspects of that. When you dream and when you're in the dream state, the dream state of consciousness being one of 3 major states of consciousness we have, like waking, dreaming, deep sleep. When you're in the dream state, you have some physiological stuff going on in your body. So you can correlate these subjective states of consciousness with physiological changes in your body. When you're dreaming, your brain is primarily emitting delta waves. It depends on what stage of sleep you're in. That's a little complicated and outside the scope of this video. And delta waves that your brain makes, these brain waves are associated with sleep. Pretty simple. When you're awake, you have some beta waves or alpha waves even, theta waves. So if you have brain waves that add on to delta, so if you have theta and delta or alpha and delta, beta and delta, some of those combinations are kind of unusual to have. That could be indicative of lucid dreaming if you're just looking at it physiologically and you don't kind of bring in the subjective component. So that's what lucid dreaming is. Have you experienced this before? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious. I started lucid dreaming at a very, very, very young age, kind of spontaneously. The first lucid dream I have in my memory actually is, I don't know how old I was, before elementary school, so pretty young. I had this dream. I remember going to bed thinking that I wanted something. It was like some kind of computer. I wanted a computer when I was, pre-kindergarten, which is quite funny, I think. Probably says quite a bit about the kind of person I was and the kind of person I am. So yeah, I wanted this computer. And I remember going to sleep. I was taking a nap. And I remember going to sleep very focused with these thoughts about imagining me having this like computer. This is one of the ways to induce lucid dreaming, by the way, which we'll get into. Kind of going to bed with an intention and very focused thoughts. Also, changing up your sleep patterns helps too. So while for the time a nap might have been in my normal sleep pattern, today that'd be very uncharacteristic of me. And so if I wanted to increase my chances of lucid dreaming, tomorrow, it's quite late tonight, 5:17 p.m. Eastern time. If I wanted to increase my chances of lucid dreaming tomorrow, then I would, maybe I'd take a nap. So anyway, I was going to bed and I had this dream about having this computer. And I was so young, I conflated the waking state of consciousness and the dream state. And I was so excited in this dream. It was a lucid dream. So I got kind of confused about what was the waking state and what was the dream state, because I was aware in the dream state. And so I thought I had attained this computer. I thought I did it. And I made it happen. And remember, I woke up and in my dream, I put the computer under the bed for safekeeping. And when I woke up, the computer wasn't there. So that was very upsetting for me. It was very upsetting. So that was my first lucid dream that I can remember. Take some of this melon water. So, eventually this persisted, and when I was in high school, I did this with much more intention. So I started to lucid dream with a lot more intention. I remember being very interested in remembering the exact moment of my awareness shifting from being aware of the physical state to being aware of the dream state. Because I posed this question to myself. I have this blog. I don't really advertise it on this YouTube channel. But I have this blog, and it has posts from me way back when, during this time. So this was probably like 2003, 2004. And I was in high school, and I was thinking about trying to be aware of this moment. Because I'd ask myself, and other people too, like, do you remember the exact moment last night when you were awake? Those last moments of being aware in the waking physical realm. And no one, including myself, could really answer that. So I wanted to find that out. And what I discovered was that if you let your body fall asleep, this is easier said than done. If you let your body fall asleep, but keep your awareness on, then you could observe these processes. From a biohacker's perspective, this is crucial because you want to have your mind have control over your body as much as possible. Supplements and smart drugs and technologies and tools assist in that process, but the main goal is to be in control of a system. Like a computer hacker wants to take control of a system. A biohacker wants to take wants to take control of a biological system, like the sleep cycle, for example. So I did this, and I noticed that if I laid down in bed and acted the exact same way I would act if I was falling asleep, but just kept myself aware, and I did this by repeating phrases, kind of like meditative in a mantra kind of way. I did this by like repeating phrases. Then I could be aware of this. Now, of course, if you have this like jabberish stuff going on in your mind when you're trying to sleep, you're not going to fall asleep very quickly, unless you're trained to do it that way. And so for the first night, I'm pretty sure I did that for about 4 hours. I also didn't resist, I resisted moving, so I didn't move. Which is silly. I read somewhere online, I don't really know if this is true, but I read somewhere online at the time that if you twitched in your sleep, or twitched, not in your sleep, sorry, if you twitched while you were falling asleep, or you had some kind of involuntary movement, or you had this like sudden urge to like shift your body or scratch an itch or something, that these were signals that your body, these were automated signals that your body was sending out to your mind to make sure that your mind was shut off and that you weren't aware, so the body could start the sleep process. I don't know if that's exactly true. I don't think human beings have that good of an understanding of why our body does some things and why these automated practices exist. But, I read that and I chose to believe it, and I experienced that. So I resisted, temptations to move. I didn't scratch itches. I got these twitching sensations, which a lot of people notice before they go to bed. And so if you just suffer through that, and the first time I did it, I feel like it took like 6 hours. Eventually, your body will start to fall asleep. And for me, this process feels like this wave. I call it the wave. It's a rush of like physical energy, or pins and needles, kind of like numbing sensations that just flow through your body. Sometimes I start from head down, sometimes I start from feet up. But eventually I get this rush of like these tingling sensations and like just like I don't know how to describe it except for maybe static noise, white noise, static on the TV, but something static you can feel in all parts of your body. For me, that's what falling asleep feels like when I'm aware of the process. Once I hit the wave, I knew that I was good to go. And so I'd hit the wave, I'd ride this wave, and then eventually these images would appear. And these are I can't pronounce this word. I should figure out how to do this, actually. Hypnagogic hallucinations are, I'm trying to like look at, oh, here we go. How to pronounce hypnogenic. Is that it? Hypnogenic? Let's see what this has to say. If this is an ad, I'm going to be quite, I'm playing a video. I'm going to be quite, here we go.
Hypnogenic.
Oh, hypnogenic. Okay. It's a computer though. So it's like someone ran that through like the Apple speak. And, I don't know, let's say pronounce it. Okay, hypnogenic. So is this even the right word? Oh my gosh, I don't know if this is even the right word. Hypnogenic. Yeah, okay. So these are these are the hallucinations you have right before you go to bed, and so that's what I was experiencing, and it's just kind of like I would see cars or bikes. I always tend to see things in motion or colors. So that's kind of like phase 2, how you knew you were doing it, and then that would lead into an actual dream where hypnogenic hallucinations aren't very immersive. It's you kind of like, or you watch them like you watch something on the TV screen, or like maybe you're watching this video right now. But eventually it shifts into this very immersive dream. So that you're watching it and then they consume you. And then it's this world around you. And then you're Ted Cruzing at that point. So that's kind of the process that I was exploring back then. And then eventually I dropped out of it for years and then came back to it at a time in college. Now this is the height of lucid dreaming. This is the most intense lucid dreaming I've ever experienced. I hope you guys are still with me. It's 15 minutes in. Because this stuff is quite exciting. So what happened was, eventually I got to the point where I could lucid dream with my eyes open. The way I got into this, and if I hope I'm at a time in my life again where I can lucid dream in this manner again. I don't know if I will be, but I hope that day comes. The reason I say that is, I was in college. It was summertime. I was like a sophomore in college or something. It was as an undergraduate. It was summertime, which meant, 2 months or something of no school. I also wasn't working. What a blessing, to not have any responsibilities as a young person. Like, I'm a young person now, but as a younger person. And I was I guess I was different and weird in the sense that I chose to spend this time reading and, meditating and dicking around. Ooh, try not to cuss on this channel, so I apologize for that. Messing around. And, while my friends and fraternity brothers were, drinking and partying and etc. So here's the deal. This is why I think lucid dreaming worked for me in the way it did at the time, is because I spent every day for essentially 2 months completely obsessed with lucid dreaming. Every day I would wake up and analyze the dream from the night before, usually the lucid dream from the night before. Throughout the day, I would be reading about lucid dreaming. I would buy books about it. I would read about it online. I would read weird PDF documents I found. I'd read about Tibetan dream yoga. I'd read about different magical systems or ancient mysticism systems to induce lucid dreaming. I read about astral projection, which I would say is probably synonymous with lucid dreaming, just from a different perspective. I would just do that all day. When you do something like that all day, I don't know quite how to describe it other than to say that the idea kind of consumes you and your reality and your thought processes. And for me, that was the key to lucid dreaming, because it was finally the key where I could really control it and increase my chances probably up to 80% success. So meaning if I went to bed, then I knew with about 80% certainty that I could have a lucid dream if I wanted to. And if you read about how to lucid dream, Stephen LaBerge, I think he pronounced his name, he'll say something like, you need to remember that you're dreaming and ask yourself throughout the day, this camera, ask yourself throughout the day, am I dreaming? Which I think is another way of saying, just think about it all the time, or as much as you can. Because eventually what you think about in your waking state of consciousness will kind of bleed down, and your dreaming state will reflect that. I don't know if that's actually true, but in my experience, that's what happens. So I got to the point where I was just living in this world of lucid dreaming. And I had this methodology down where I'd close my eyes, I would lay on my back, I'd stay still, I would start to imagine the wave happening. So I'd imagine the wave come through, and then it would actually happen. It seemed to speed up the process if I focused my attention on something happening before it actually happened. Hey, Luce. Oh, come here, Lucy. This is my puppy. Well, she's over 2, so I don't know if that qualifies as a puppy. So I would imagine it happening, and then it would happen faster, which I always thought that was pretty interesting. The next thing would actually, at this point, not be the hypnogenic hallucinations, but it would be these sounds that would occur. And I would hear just like music or tunes or these weird sounds, which I was curious as to, like, that's still hallucination, but it's auditory instead of visual, right? And then one night something weird happened. I heard this like chord or band strike and vibrate intensely. It was kind of like playing a guitar, right? And the string breaks. And that's the sound I heard out of, let me see. Yeah, it was out of my right ear. This, you might see that as left, I don't know. And that seemed to propel me towards like the dream. Really crazy. Sometimes it would feel like I was in this rocket ship and just go whatever. The most fascinating thing though is that when I Googled that, and we're in like 2007 territory now, 2008 actually, not 7. Yeah, like 2008, 2009 territory. When I Googled that, it seemed like everyone knew about this breaking rubber band vibrating type sound. And everyone's like, yeah, this is stage whatever in the lucid dream. I was like, what? And I thought it was so cool that I came upon a subjective experience from my own methods of trial and error that I could find on the internet that other people had already validated. How cool is that? That's so cool. So I was so excited, and I kept doing this. And I found these methods online, and I followed them because there was other stages after that. So eventually got to the point where I could just lay down with my eyes open, and within like 60 seconds start to have a lucid dream. The world would dissipate around me, and I wouldn't have to close my eyes anymore. Then the challenge was navigating the new mental realms, the new dream world, without waking myself up, because I'd always get so excited and try to focus in on things. And I was reading a few months ago, or actually way sooner. Hey, Lucy, she's making noises again. You want to come over? You think, I don't know, like, y'all have dogs, but... okay. If I try to pick her up right now, sometimes she'll go back. She'll be like, no, don't pick me up. She wants to play, but I'm recording a video. See? Oh, hey, Luce, come here. She wants me to build this toy, is what's going on. It's okay, I'm not gonna have a video of me just like throwing stuff at my dog forever. So, wow, I actually lost my train of thought. That doesn't happen too often. I didn't take any smart drugs today, so. But my new challenge, I remember now, my new challenge was surviving in this dream world without waking myself up. And I read recently that when you lucid dream, apparently, I don't know how they measure this, but apparently you don't have a lot of acetylcholine. Acetylcholine, being a neurotransmitter, or a chemical in your brain, acetylcholine has a lot to do with focus. And so when I talk about taking nootropics that influence focus and allow us to focus more, that's actually kind of like the antithesis of dreaming, or lucid dreaming rather, because apparently when you have more of this acetylcholine in the lucid dreaming state, then you have less of a chance of staying lucid while you're dreaming, because then you get more acetylcholine because you're focusing in on something, and then the dream dissolves and you wake up. Does that mean that if you're lucid dreaming, you don't want to take acetylcholine precursors? I don't know. Maybe. Could be interesting to find out. So that was my new challenge. And I fiddled around with that for a while. But then, you know, the summer was over and school came about again. And I found that as during the day, when I was focusing on things other than lucid dreaming, I would just kind of like stop lucid dreaming, because I had all these like worries and thoughts going on in my mind. So I wasn't thinking about lucid dreaming. And when I went to bed, I just kind of blacked out. I wasn't aware. The cool thing about lucid dreaming, there's so many cool things about it. You can use it for introspection, to kind of dialogue with your subconscious, theoretically at least, to One cool thing is a lot of long-term meditators, not a lot, very few long-term meditators will claim that they can hold awareness 24/7. So they're aware that they're awake, right? They're mindful that they're awake. They're mindful that they're dreaming. And they're mindful that they're not dreaming when they are asleep, or that deep dreamless sleep. And I thought that was so cool to be aware, hold an awareness throughout your entire sleep cycle. It's just you never black out. You're always aware of your entire life. I mean, how cool is that? And how cool could it be to kind of like work on some issues while you're asleep in a mindful way, so that when you wake up, you're ready to go. I think that's amazing. It's like reclaiming half of your life, or a third of your life, or whatever it is. So the problem is that to get to that point, I guess, takes a lot of discipline, which is rough. Like, to do anything more than 10 minutes of mindfulness a day for me isn't a real effort. And I definitely have the time. I just have to make the time. So I have to formulate it into my day. So yeah, I think I might record a second video of like strategies for lucid dreaming since this video has gone quite long. But I did really just want to have a very informal, casual, non-scripted, relaxed conversation with you guys about this stuff. Since I've been in my head all day, I wanted to get it out and communicate it to you. I hope this style wasn't too, I mean, I doubt that most of you have made it this far in the video. I hope this style, though, wasn't too terrible for you guys. I know it's quite different than how we usually make videos. And so I really just wanted to give that a try. We'll see. Let me know if you guys like this or not. You know, when I'm animated, I'm definitely myself. I don't want to make it seem like I'm not. But, you know, when I'm feeling mellow and contemplative, I want to be able to express that too. So we'll see. We'll see if maybe the mellowness doesn't hold y'all's attention like the, you know, hey guys, what's going on? Steve Coronin does. I don't really know. So that's it, dudes. I'm going to turn off the camera. Thanks for watching.